Pero metuawitika mede mateke kindano makitiluti dogjo mokwano Igulu City. Tikelo luore kid metimo tich bilwak maite dero. Wabikeli reporti kom Lokman kimokene mapol yup meloka ngimo chin. Tin nende piarario medremia pawi achil mwaka alibario piarario ngwen.
At least the one thing for now we can all agree on is the soap to use. He likes that it's big and lasts long. Anti-economy. I like that it keeps my skin smooth. Ate alina echovu. And the children like that. It smells amazing. Everyone is happy. Movit soap comes in 4 fantastic flavors. Movit family soap is truly soap for the whole family.
Movit. All day confidence.
Pero metuawitika yermala mateke kinlo joma kwano kideng joma lotich Igulu City.
But sickness is normal, and as government established procedures of handling those cases.
Committee miot moko che kotia kochokota mikom National Teachers Bill.
Chair and members, I was glad to hear what you said because we have discussed it as well, that we should have comprehensive school practice.
Kadong Kiza Besejetino Oyim Court Pamony Kibole Ebuch Meriman. Amori matak ketin tiandek Julie kaneno yup miloka ngimo chuin kanki Wan Luo television ania Sunday Akumu. Dodiar gitika dongo dur peper metuawitika dogo mapole kindano makokwano kidong lutich madon magiti Igulu City balo matak yup metit pelwak mamiar gutim itute melweny ene kompero machal kiman. Dodiar moken gawani mono per metuawitika bino pilokom jema pole kine tam kidong tig mokaro lajo kachel kitike yori machek yekin moken marajo matibala mater yot kom padano tutol yot kom wich padano makibere Igulu City pole benjo mokwanda joma giti office madom a George pa Wan Luo television manne David Magere oloko kilo dira yot kom ka kele report mayano yobodoge piloka ngemo jui.
Lo dero getie ka don dur pepero tuo wich matie ka yelo jomo kwano kilo tich madon Igulu City matie ka balwo ruome tich mamete ni omiergiti ye gimo. Lo dero mukene ilok metuo wich kono giwacho ni pol papero man tie ka bino machala duoki metam mateki dog tich kibene pero madore kum tich kiyedi marajo majo mukwano dongu donyi iye. Koko man kono tie gin me ututwal pien pol kare dano tamoni mato kono alataya nyo tich yedi marajo no jomo kwano nyo jomagiti gi diro madon pegeromo donyi iye. Professor George Ladao Penjuru Matie la konko chancellor dok la fony madit Igulu University kono moko ni meno Machalo University gen gitie ka tote me konyo lweny e kompero metuo wich ni woke miyo tambo lutich me gangkwan meno.
As Igulu University, we will continue to support the regional referral hospital, just like James said. We always stated that all our medical professors must provide support in the health facilities. And I am happy that James is not just doing the work, he is also having a passion to support people. I would like you to respond to the appeal that he has made, which I also think he should start with Igulu University first. Talking to staff about work stress, and then go to all these other organizations. We shall make arrangements. Usually help us to assess those who are sick, whom we want to already send home. But I think that is not what we should be doing. We should be helping them not to go home. So whereas you help us to assess whether they can continue working or not, you should be helping us, and the referral hospital should help us to support these people not to go away. There are quite many.
Inoni Dr. Bruno Atiang mati daktar maloyo jae mati kum lok meto wiji oriat madit me gulukono o moko ni meno pero metich ki yari mara jutie ka ile malo matek tutwali kin jo mukwano.
In the past, the issue or the problem of alcohol and drugs used to be looked at as a problem of people who are like unfortunate, who have not gone to school, who could stay deep in the village, in the community there. But to assure you members, this thing has made a U-turn. It has now turned to become a problem of the highly learned youth and those ones who stay in urban areas like the city, like in Gulo here. I have taken about 6 months in Gulu Regional Referral here, and I hardly miss a week before I encounter a case of alcohol and drug misuse disorder among the youth in a critical condition.
Betty Aolu chan matila chunyo at mo chik madao pi luak me Gulu City kono wajini pol juma pol dong pegitika par pe kwoge dogitika tikia di maraju tutwale mon mogo magi maro ta magi luoni sisha maman tika duki maraj tutwal Inoni Innocent ahimbisibe mati town clerk me Gulu City kono moko ni adada lutij mo kene I Gulu City tutwale lufonye gitika tuta ke pero me to which magen gitika yellow merge konye.
It is true, some head teachers and teachers have got health challenges, but sickness is normal, and as a government they established procedures of handling those cases. So they have to go through the medical board. Good enough, the medical board has been decentralized. It is chaired by the director of the referral hospital and other members. So the files have been submitted, they will be invited to review their cases, and then we see if they can be retired on medical grounds, because the laws are proper. But the delay was because these boards were sitting in Kampala, and one board for the nation was too big. But now that we are lucky they have centralized at regional referral hospitals, these matters will be addressed.
Ino luo katima tek tutwal menani oloto kichako miotam igai tich igai kwan kati jujuma papat wajio makono gitigi peko metu which ma agi chala doki metiki yat maraj kikono peko magino itam matut kuno aloha wagin tiji okonji bene lorangea I Wan Luo TV David Magere I Gulu City.
Tangkan mayot kom gufo ilo jolo kange makargen piario ki West Nile me miyo ngech bolwak ikom chek mamaro dok bene joko matota ikindano no jolo nge makyo dipok lo nge mapati ko bet ki ngech man make miyo bot gen mene ni ke miyo ngech bolwak ikom chek ma ikati kwere mwaka ale kia parabid magyo matota ikindano dok bene pe yene ke chapta di choka ta ka bene mediko meno gat me kana mana fut pekar piru wachil omiero po mata malupe en kipenchik melovo Uganda enim Robert Ariaka oberute fonye man ki West Nile en Kelly report pe Wan Luo TV.
Patience Mutezi mauti program officer ni kurikal maneno lem yot kumkuringo mi Uganda itenge milem tuopa which mantiu kuyat majonyamo anyama mana mother wachne ya ugor lembangea pigiteki lempoko lembangea ilabe milwenye kumkodhi timo makumeni eni majun wangonia ya dhano mapol giteka ni mother tabaswa magilo bongo chik majuwo kudemal makokum lem mother tabam wachne ya shiki yu ongoni ngati ni mother tabedipo imotokari palo wake odi nambo udi lega isukuru udi yat man ishokrim.
Tobacco kills approximately 8 million people daily worldwide. You can do the math. Out of those, 600,000 have nothing to do with smoking. They are just there doing their own thing, and then lo and behold, John is smoking from here, Beatrice is seated here, doing her own things, and then they die from that. Out of those 600,000, 250 are women and children. So let us protect our women, our children, our aunties, our whatever.
Ugor lem bang'eya mapol gi miko paro mamigi kum chik mamako kum lem madho taba majumo kende gitieke ne wach ne ya umako gamente o yap wang'e ikum shiknem.
Do you consider some small budget where you reward journalists who piece together very good stories, investigative stories around? Because I know we have great writers and that could spur more conversation, more great stories. And I'm sure we can do great work.
UNBS, why do we certify products that are harming your taxpayers? If you look at the displays we had here, the first blame I will do is to UNBS, then you go to the trade industry, because they certified and gave the permission that you can operate. But you are telling us it is harmful. So in all this, to me I believe farmers have no say when the rule is passed and implemented.
We've been having a challenge with getting experts, even talking to those people about some things because of bureaucracy in each the ministry. But if the ministry would also provide for us these experts in the different fields of health, maybe we could be able to interpret them to the local person. Maybe the idea will come. I think I should stop this and I do the other crop.
Manase Anziko jalop kor jadit maneno lem yot kom kodi district mamirarwa ulego ugor lembangea man udi poko lembangea matongtung mauti tengemi West Nile nineno niya yagetemo kwed moko ikom lem madho taba iyore mupo ringo man rasho pare kodi tengemi West Nile.
So you get real facts, put it out, then it may bring other issues. The issue of politics, we can only talk and or influence them when you have data, evidence. Of course, how you can sell it to policymakers is another thing. Once you publish something, you can make it to their interest. You look for alliances with it, then those influential ones, once it is brought out, they can always support.
Idwi marom eni oromokadho polisi omako dhano 38 majonwango gi kamadho taba majiyo pirengo ni madho I man luoro ikabedo minambo eno taba majulongo ni ya chishan eni keni neno ni ya shik majuwo kudi oralifario kuda paru ya bish mamako komle madho taba jo ketu itish. Pilambangia maochwen Wan Luo TV, Robert Ariaka, Oringi Dennis, Arua City.
Lawang President Yoweri Museveni man DG Pakwat District uchaya matek yub mikwero loch ken makidiyo lachen NP District ni enim. RDC mi Pakwat man Nixon owole wani mon perwate mikwero loch ken lachen ki jok duya chel kulingayem. Kon lobu Uganda kwero loch ken kinindo bungwen mi dwemi apai mo imwani enim. Kadok bene ludir mi Pakwat kipol kadungu yuek tutuan pila kom diro kwe makit man lachen mauno en perwate. Ena wani mon kache kwe kidir notikum district nyuka berma bujolo kwe madit palo Uganda lo ayigiti kitwero mediro kwe makit man pieno jima politika time district kameka nyobene city pijolo yup nyokwe madit palo Uganda lo ni George for Wan Luo television 8 Kelly report Pakwach district.
Jadit RDC mi district mi Pakwach Nixon owole chwenyo bedo yomongo ikum jorotela mi district mi Pakwach pe galo pine yiko pi nindo mi kwiro nindo lochken mangom Uganda onwango. District mi Pakwach kwiro nindo na yoring edwi shell mangom Uganda kwiro kude eko lochken. Owole wash na yanwango district mi Pakwach romo galo ni kwiro nindo lochken kanwango kwir madit obedi West Nile ento kakumeni ongoshi gitimo dubu madit sanam.
Let us pray for life, that we shall all be alive. Next year, we should celebrate our Independence Day exactly on the 9th. This belated celebration should stop because it is misleading the pupils. For some of these pupils, since we have celebrated this day today, they will think that today we have celebrated Independence Day and Uganda got its independence on the 12th of November, which is not true. That misconception should stop.
Jadit maloyo witich mi district mpakwash Moses Dalili uwacho ni ayagid ma oketo gi chwalo nindo mikwiro nindo loch ken pien gimitu ni ayaw mako jorotela mi district na shaka gibedo tie inindo mikwirnem.
Because the national standard is we should be having one classroom to accommodate 53 children. So ours is still once a bit. Of course, the government continues to provide resources to bridge the gap. This financial year, the budget we're implementing has made provision for maintenance in some of the schools. We're doing renovation works in about 10 schools to address the issue of classroom teacher ratio. So hope that it will improve.
Woncom LC Abish mi district mi pakwasho mito Robert Steen washne yagiti academy tunia umako district mi pakwach jumik municipality ni nyuthu ni yagiti kuloshken man bedagonyam.
We celebrate the independence more as a district, which by 1st July this year 2024 we can report to the citizens of Pakwach that we finished a complete 7 years as an independent higher local government known as a district, commonly as per administrative structure. As a district, we want to appreciate and congratulate the President of the Republic of Uganda for granting us our independence. And this is an independence that has brought a lot to light. Much of the services that the people are enjoying today is because of attainment of the district. If it were not for that, we would not be having the strength and the liberty to talk today. And so there are some great contributors with whom we started this district, whom I also want to recognize their contribution, and the rest of the leaders who join us on the way, who are all contributing towards the development and the progress of this district for the good of our people.
Pilabangea maochwin Wan Luo TV, Edna Piish, Oringi Dennis, Kudipakwash District.
Committee me odmo chekman lo konfonyi guti ko dong tek ko liup me choko tamgi komtama ke miro dok chekman National Teachers Bill en chegino futi ke lo tele kindu jen mo ko chekigamente ayeti ko ni kom mabuti chekman mamit ni mono ke do fonyi nasari gubet ke rom kwan me degree ni ngeno wani mono man perwate ke por gi kit magen gi fonyo ke ki bene chende magino ni wo ke fonyo nasari on report ke vote Fred Kajubi ikom National Teachers Bill. Attorney General Chiliowachi wanuka kachel ki Minister Matiri pifonye Roma malo man Dr. John C. Muyingo goro ati komiti man menyamo lok man mapol matiko mabil man makemiti oloko Dr. Mim. Igien maonen kamaleng gankal mefuni kituo tero baye warotam namba parari baye warotam mano miti kong no fone go tem fon ka tema wewe pedwe apa yario pieni MPs pego ye chwako taman wakiniga chel.
Drop internship. What next? Chair and members, I was glad to hear what you said because we have discussed it as well, that we should have comprehensive school practice that will enable the teachers come out with the prerequisite competencies to be effective teachers. And one of the practical way of doing it was to start school practice in first year so that they do it for the 3 years.
And the government is making additional commitments in addition to these obligations, and it is taking over the training of teachers. Because previously, teachers have been also trained in private institutions without meeting the standards. So the teacher training for pre-primary is also now coming back into the government space, and also in affirmative action in some areas where ECCEs are not attractive because most of them appear to be in urban areas targeting the elite. And the government in that policy is saying there will be targeted interventions in areas that are underserved to make sure that ECCE goes outside the urban areas.
Meka kameno gang kalong tiki yub mechagorote woro gang foni makiluonge ni comprehensive school practice mano kimiyo kongi mwaka machiel latin kwan malafony mier belafony ber kafonyo lutin kwan wero ngi woro. Karibet kumeno lok moken mafuro dong mapiere teka yeni mono lafony nasari omiero bet kirome degree. MPs ko wani mono ruomi ne perwate pieni mono gamente petike ketli maiken matiket ne kom gai kwan nasari onyo ben gang kwan makit man pagamente perate lokini mono wigi gai kwan magiti nasari ni omier ko bet ka yela ke chulo fweni makiteno pieno ruom giti ruom mamalo.
To implement this in terms of paying, and when he was answering about paying, helping teachers to upgrade, I don't know whether it continues to even the private teachers who are teaching in private schools. Will they be also given equal opportunity if they want to upgrade? Will the government come in and help them?
I personally think what is important for the pre-primary teachers and leaders is early childhood development, early childhood education, and not necessarily a degree in education. Now, the bill does not mention anything on early childhood education, which is the key skill needed for the pre-primary, and yet it mentions the degree in education, which is far up there.
Attorney General wani mono karibet ni mono cheke no chaktit pegi bichago lokom degree ni no fut pe ya mwaka pa otum o miyo kar kilo fweni me dokchen ka kwan we komo drum kwan mamiki.
Today we are talking about a degree, maybe tomorrow we'll talk about a master's degree, or maybe after that we'll talk about a PhD. But that what we are talking about now is the minimum qualification. But the other requirements that may be required for anyone to participate in this space will be set by the council. Now you see you're introducing a council. Now what you're trying to do here is to have a blended method of regulation, blended by government and the stakeholders, where you now have the stakeholders go in and consult and then come back and say this is what we think works for our space.
MPs pegu yen kilok man kawan mon gamente fut pe ya mer muchar palefoni ken mo jaken te lokani mon li mai ken pere malfonya ram dit kwer me dokchen igyankwan.
The issue of saying that a degree is necessary is panchuria, Mr. Attorney General. It's not useful for teachers in primary. The only way and nursery, it is not necessary. People who have taught better were even vernacular teachers.
So at this time when we have rationalized almost 29 agencies, do we really need to create another entity, a council that is going to regulate teachers, and yet we have Ministry of Education which is fully fledged?
At all levels, we don't have a shortage of teachers, and people have already started even preparing them. So those who are grade 3 are moving on to diploma, from diploma to degree. But what is important here is that we have got to set standards as a ministry.
It's better that the government thinks of ways of ensuring that you act by example. Because other countries like Tanzania, they have those nursery schools owned by government and others owned by private.
Ikom report pa komiti man malatel wieti MP Mebunya Eastman James Kubereche gawani mono gin kitinen ni ginongkong report matut magichoyo doke kakemi bot otmogo chek. Report na yobu tier matut titie tamo giben lok mokene mati eni komtamak mer dok cheke kachil kilok pa komiti man onyomoke ikomtamak mer dok chek makiluoni mono National Teachers Bill. Pe Wan Luo Television, Fred Kajubi. Adit maloyo dul me State House malwani kom chamchana man dul makiluoni mono State House Anti-Corruption Unit saku iyo machek. Brigadier General Henry Sokeo wani mwananyola Uganda umergo kony kolweni kom chamchana ni woke miyonge nyobene miya doti kom ngat mekan megabiano titime chamchana ikin dano ikin pachi wacheki report pe Lokman. Ilokpa Brigadier General Bot Vision Group isoka weni piere tek ni mono kineno ni yo mapolong tika kati milweni kom chamchana. Olodoti kanyako nye ekonomi la bole kom nongo shilling billion piere bitu ya bichel. Makil maya kidok lu chamchana kibene mako kipiri kumdan makargen mia bichel golo makibiara ngoroi wiki itime chamchana. Mapat kimeno dong kimiyo Ford dano mia chel gabichel piltime chamchana lobo Uganda.
Quite a number. As I said, we've out of our increased collaboration with the DPP, we have arraigned about 600 suspects so far in court, and these include civil servants, include and private individuals, almost in the same proportion. Maybe 300 something civil servants and about 300 in the private practice, the lawyers and private surveyors.
Isoko weni mono EAPU mikum dano moken ma egoni gi woro ya gony me bail kage dok chene kit gi machoni owere tika tiki office pa Attorney General mina neki chobo peko man iyo mabeto twal. Dulme State House Anti-Corruption Unit to karkije mapol magoti umelweni kom chamchana. Ikineti ya kokono lok mapol ikineti ya loko makume ngom kwa lokono matafale kidong bare padano maikara moja. Kidong chulu dan mwami onupeki chul genite yup cooperative maweng sako otiuye mabe. Isoke benoti gikara men mefoyo President Joel Kaguta Museveni pi kony mente kamiyune ilweni kom chamchana ka olego anywele gana meripo chingi gen weke lwen kifut wako chamchana kilwere duju kilobo Uganda kan dano omiero gomi report.
Yes, indeed there is a lot to celebrate about the fight against corruption. I think there is more awareness by the general population through the efforts of, first of all, His Excellency the President, who has been a champion in many things, in all of the wars that have been fought in this country, and have caused the liberation fruits that we are all enjoying. And he has been at the helm of fighting corruption and guiding us. And among the things that I think we appreciate him for is mobilizing and preaching the gospel of anti-corruption. So, as a result of this, I think the masses are more aware. Institutions have been put in place. Legislations have been put in place. Indeed, the determination to win the war against corruption is higher than ever before, and I think that is worth celebrating.
Wan Luo Television, Fred Kajubi. Afwana report Moakibot Fred Kajubi ikomlweni kom jamjane lobo Uganda. La juu tiana ngwan kulo pe belatelo wo Uganda mapor wakur kurte pati FDC kare meno duju Dr. Kiza Besigye tinyo oinyem kot padulmon kadange chwala wo rejela ke birni ano bedo kimuduri wiyalim Besigye ke chwala nyem kot pamon malador no bedo won kom man Brigadier General Robert Freeman Mugabe okwar wo korman ka ke chwala en bedo ko nyim e beri ibuj bedo tono kono ke bedo katimo kwe dikom en manen kong report matut ikom Logman. Koroma kimor ikom Besigye ni kimor kaachiel ki ng'at mamiyo boten kony malama kibego mameke Haji Obed Lutale. To biro wani mono jario ni kijoma ken mafud gitiwi ngwechi kien dwe mi apae mwaka mokate kidwe mi apae wechele mwaka man ni kama no giti city me Geneva Switzerland, Athens Greece kidong Nairobi lobo Kenya ubere ka choke menongo kit me rayo lim kibene ne kidneno kit me bola ranyi ikum kaberu mogo mati lobo Uganda magitiko no kijami lweny madon dok gin no kemir balo wako tit me gwoko bero e lobo Uganda.
Colonel retired Dr. Chiza Vesti, Haj Obelia retired, and others still at large between October 2023 and November 2024, while in cities to wit Geneva in Switzerland, Athens in Greece, and Nairobi in Kenya, held meetings aimed at soliciting for logistical support and identifying military targets in Uganda with intent to reduce the security of the defense forces.
Gen wani mono besi jagin kilutale enendo apara bichil midima pawe chile mwakaman ikar magiti ot mati Riverside Apartments mani Nairobi, Kenya keno gen kimuduro pistol madgiluoni mono 27 KAL namba netie abiro abichel abit mauno kono pa umiaro betching dana tane pien chal tutual ki pistol mabedo iching dulmony UPDF kilugwa kuj mokene magitie pagamente.
November 2024, while at Riverside Apartments in Nairobi, Kenya, were found in unlawful possession of a pistol model 27 KAL number 765, which is unmanned and monitored defense forces.
What is the evidence which has been produced before this honorable court that retired Colonel Dr. Chiza Vesti is supposed to be in Nairobi? That evidence has not been attended before this honorable. You are submitting on speculation.
A law has been quoted as to why we should be subject to this court. I don't have the laws with me. I cannot respond. My lawyers haven't been briefed. I think it would be unfair to make a ruling before we have had the benefit of legal representation in that.
Pemeno kibologin iriman ni owenel dwe ario medemia poweri mwakaman kadok ibidok chen inyim kot kawinyo kigamu koro matikom gin. Karibet komeno besi jegin ki obet kuweni makwak gin pegitimo balman. Pe Wan Luo Television Ania Sunday Akumu. Avoid tuale na report meno kelwa ya giki yup milorange moju nikanki Wan Luo Television Ania Sunday Akumu neteke TV again.